I don't have no big crib like y'all.
This is Dallas Cowboys Crosstalk.
Check this out.
Live from the Cowboys Club at the Star in Frisco. Brought to you by A#1 Air, the official HVAC and electric partner of the Dallas Cowboys. Blockchain.com. Make your crypto play today. The National Medal of Honor Museum. Join the mission at mohmuseum.org. Buffalo Wild Wings. And by SWBC Mortgage. Customized solutions to help you meet your personal and business goals. Visit swbc.com.
Thanksgiving. There we go. Thank you. 12's the night before Thanksgiving. We got all kinds of excitement going on because on Thanksgiving, the Cowboys always play a little football. They're taking on Washington Commanders. I'm Chris Arnold from 105.3 The Fan. And as always, Nate Newton, three-time Super Bowl champ, is here, along with, from DallasCowboys.com, the man, his name is Nick Harris. Yeah. And our special guest this evening is the first man to get 5 Super Bowl championships. He got 5 rings somewhere in his house. Maybe it's locked up in a safe. He is also a Pro Football Hall of Famer. He is also a member of the Ring of Honor. Put your hands together for Mr. Charles Haley. Chuck, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, I'm doing good. How
Put your mic down a little bit closer. There you go.
A bit closer?
A little bit closer. Turn his volume up a little bit more for him.
Well,
there we go.
Hey, I'm doing good. How y'all guys doing?
Man, we're doing great, man.
You.
We're so glad to see you.
Hey, happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
That's right. Happy Thanksgiving. You know, when we start the show off, we usually talk about what the Cowboys did the weekend before. The Cowboys, by the way, are 7-3 now. They thumped the Panthers in Carolina, and they called it. He said this game ain't even going to be a match. They won 33-10.
Wait a minute. What did you just say?
He said they ain't going to.
What did the offense do?
The offense scored, not 33 because Deron Bland got a touchdown, got a pick six.
26.
26 points.
What, Dak got 180-yard pass?
Yeah, he didn't bust 200, but I guess he didn't have to.
Oh, okay.
But you know what? I was going to bring up something else because they kind of took care of business. In other words, they didn't let that trip them up. Nate said they weren't going to look past them, and they didn't. But my question for you guys is this. Before the game, Jerry almost hijacked the show when he announced that Jimmy Johnson, y'all's coach, was finally going into the Ring of Honor. I want to ask Charles first, what's your thought of Jimmy finally getting in, and you already in?
I'm happy for him.
Just that simple? Did you know it might happen this year?
No. I'm happy for him.
Everything. I think everybody's happy for him. I think even Jerry was happy for him. Nate, what was your reaction?
I'm ecstatic, man. It's guys like Coach Johnson and this guy sitting to my right, Charles Haley, man. It kept me on the narrow path, man. He helped keep me in shape and make me look at the game a different way, and Coach Johnson just continued to push. So I'm excited, man. I know Charles will be there on the 30th of next month. I'll be there. A whole lot of guys been texting me saying they'll be there. So I want to make this thing a big thing for Coach Johnson.
One of the reasons Jerry said he wanted to have it on December 30th when the Cowboys take on the Detroit Lions on Saturday Night Football is because it's an extension of Monday Night Football, and Troy's going to be there. And I know, Charles, when you were in the Ring of Honor, it was Troy that surprised you and told you that you were going in, right? Can you tell that story a little bit? That Troy Aikman, with you over in Jerry's office, and Troy had some news for you?
I think I don't really remember what happened, man. I think Troy did tell me. You know what? That part of my life is a blur.
Yeah, I got you.
I don't dwell on awards and stuff, man. I'm just, man, the happiest moment in my life was to play with a bunch of guys, man. My teammates, they're the one who put me there.
Oh, yeah.
And I get more pleasure out of hanging with Nate, knowing that, you know what, every day I know whether I'm up or down, I knew Nate's going to be there.
That's right. The relationships.
For me. Yeah, and that's what I cherish. I cherish the relationship with my teammates.
Well, Jimmy Johnson is going into the Ring of Honor. Nick, when you heard about it, what was your reaction? Because, again, I think Cowboys fans are like, I can't believe it. It's like hell froze over. Jimmy and Jerry together, and Jimmy's going into the Ring of Honor.
It wasn't necessarily a moment of I can't believe it, but more so I can't believe it's happening right now in Carolina at a visiting stadium. So it all happened super fast. We got the notion last minute that there was going to be a press conference, and at that time it was about 45 minutes away. So we packed up what we had going on and went down and made it happen. And then that's what it ended up happening. Couldn't have imagined that would have happened when I woke up that morning.
Hey, who gonna tell Jerry not to drink?
You know, he probably gonna have something.
He gonna have something.
It's a Saturday night. It's a Saturday night. You know he's gonna be happy and celebrating.
And this is at halftime. This is at halftime.
At halftime. What?
You know, Jerry started drinking. Ain't no telling what's going.
That means it's gonna be a real party. It's gonna be a major celebration. And you know, just like when all y'all show up for the Pro Football Hall of Fame honors and all that, and they have you down at halftime at one. Jimmy came back when he went to the Hall of Fame, and the first thing he did that made the crowd go crazy, he goes, "How about them Cowboys?"
How about them Cowboys?
Y'all remember when he said that in that locker room?
Yeah.
That was something special, wasn't it?
Yeah, you know, if they really want to make this special for Jimmy, Jerry and them should give the players tickets to come to the game. If he really want it to be something truly special. Yeah. Because I feel like if he throw that olive branch out like that, I believe a lot of guys will come in and go.
Oh yeah, I think you're right. And speaking of Troy again, because Troy will be there on the 30th working for ESPN on Monday Night Football. Troy, a few years ago, and he actually did it this past year too, he every now and then gets the Super Bowl teams together and have all the players get together, and y'all get a chance to bond and talk those old stories and talk some noise. Did you enjoy that, Nate?
Yeah, I've always enjoyed it, man. But like I said, I get to see Charles maybe 4, 6, 7 times a year, more during the football season. But I'm talking about when football season, we'll see each other in pass, and I'll talk to Tony Tolbert. I'll call Troy 1 or 2 times. I'll speak. Mike, you know, you catch Mike anyway.
Oh yeah, Mike's everywhere.
So he's everywhere. So. But it's guys like that, man. And I bonded with some of the younger guys like Barry Church and Danny McCray. So this football thing for me, being around the stars, really helped me. And my man Charles, he makes his appearances when he make them. So ain't nobody gonna stop him from coming in the door.
Okay, so you guys talk about getting together here and there now and then. So are y'all planning on making a trip up to Colorado to see Coach Prime one of these days? You went up there?
Yeah, I've been up there when he first got to be the coach.
Deion Sanders.
A couple of months after that, and then I went to the game where they lost to Stanford. So and I talked to him maybe once a month or a couple of times a month. You know, I talked to him. I want to tell him, you know, quit getting his kid beat up, you know.
Yeah, he getting sacked a lot, man.
That concerns me. You know, you don't need to be in college doing it. It's one thing to be like Sam Howell and be in the pros doing it, but in college, you don't want to leave college gunshot. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Charles, you ever you going to try to get to Colorado in the next couple of years?
Oh, yeah. My thing, I want to go up there when it's really cold, because you know brothers don't like cold. So I know if I go up there when it's really cold, I'm going out the airport to the game, back to the airport, and I'm coming back.
I know that's right.
Yeah. So but yeah, I'm proud of Deion. I'm proud of the success he's had. I think Deion has made it interesting to watch college football again.
Yeah.
You know, the sad thing is that he's going through that pain of not having the athletes to be as successful as he wants to be.
Yeah.
And you can pump somebody up as much as you want, but if it ain't much substance to them, you know, they're gonna fall.
That's right. And you know what, Nate, you actually lived through this. The first year Jimmy came to the Cowboys, y'all went 1-15.
Yeah. I've been on the bottom, man, and we, like I say, once again, we went and got key players, and then Charles was the Charles was the reason for our first few Super Bowls, and then Deion reinvigorated us again. Say what?
Cut it out.
You wasn't that good. You wasn't that good.
Okay.
He came in here and smashed his boy Wallace. Steve Wallace was his boy.
That's right.
You know, he helped Steve Wallace be an all-pro tackle. Then he come back and he smashed his kid. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
His
You done
protege.
smashed.
Hey, he had the wrong jersey on.
49er jersey.
Hey, bro.
I understand.
If they got the clock going and somebody keeping score, then I'm about winning.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And by the way, did y'all notice that Steve Wallace's brother is comedian George Wallace?
Yeah, I always wondered about that, man.
Yeah. George always bragging about him.
Yeah, man. I just I played against Charles, and he helped some other dude get a sack, some old fat guy get a sack on me. He talked noise like he got the sack.
No, hey.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? They were so busy double teaming me, let the tackle just go get a sack.
That's
No,
right. That's what
they ran an ET. He banged me, knocked me off, and the dude looped around and got the sack.
Like on a
Two of they was coming down, but we just couldn't close the gap quick enough. 'Cause
Right.
he banged me so hard, you know. Like D-Law banged that dude on. Yeah,
And
he hit me hard.
That's the thing. See, Charles, you tried to downplay it, but you were an exceptional edge rusher. In fact, nobody could contain you one-on-one. They had to double. When was the last time you was single coverage? I mean, when somebody was just man-to-man with you? Never.
I got it sometimes.
A couple times here and there.
But you know what? Hey, it's a team sport, and
That's right.
My thing was I wanted the D-line to understand that I would lay my life down for them, and we had that type of brotherhood. They were sacrificed for me just as much as I was sacrificed for them.
And you just wound up with all the sacks.
No.
A lot of sacrificing going on.
Going to two or three people.
How many defensive linemen went to the Pro Bowl and I didn't go? So
How many people in the Hall of Fame and they ain't there? Yeah, them same ones that went to the Pro Bowl.
Yeah. They watching him walk across stage.
And see, I love the humbleness, but I'm telling you, when he walked in, man, when he walked into our place, over there at the old
the
place,
Valley Ranch.
he wasn't there 2 days.
Yeah.
He got off the plane, elated to be a Cowboy. That lasted 1 day. The next day they bring him in the locker room. We all just sitting around. And we accepted him because if Jimmy brought him, we knew he was a baller.
Yeah.
And plus, I played against him, so I knew what he could do.
Yeah.
So he walks in there, man, and I wish this was a family show I could cuss. He walks in there, and he said, "You sorry, I ain't none of y'all, da-da-da. I got a scout report on all of y'all, especially the offense." And he wouldn't have just started with Troy, just telling everybody.
Name and name.
Oh, man, just telling everybody what he saw from them and da-da-da-da-da. I like, you know, I looked at this dude like, you know what, man, maybe we should trade him for a little bit less to get him out of here.
He had the scouting report. He was telling y'all how to step up your game.
But it's the way you talk to people.
Right.
The word politically correct wasn't back in them days.
No, back in them days.
You just got talked about.
Exactly.
And so once he did that, man, it wasn't 2 weeks later. He came to me. F.A. Nate. That's what, y'all put it together.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know? Yeah, F.A. Nate. I say, what up? And I called him his name that I had, which was ain't nice.
Right.
And he said, you know what, man? Listen to me. He said, I'm serious. He said, in the first 5 or 6 weeks, you look like an all-pro, and everybody be like, man, look how good Nate look. But after that right there, it seemed like you just eat yourself out of shape, or you don't look the same the rest of the season. He said, man, I'm going to work out with you every day, be over here this time. I'm thinking he's joking. So I come back, he there, him and Tobin. And we started working out, man, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, a light day Thursday, Friday off, Saturday, getting ready for the game. I did this for 5, 6 straight years. I made Pro Bowl every year. He worked out with me, him and Tobin. Yeah.
It's the little things like that.
Yeah.
You know, when we come back, we're going to take a small break. When we come back, it is the night before Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
I saw Charles yesterday in the Cowboys locker room talking with Micah Parsons and Dak Prescott. He might not tell all the details, but we're going to talk about some of the love that was shared yesterday next on Cowboys Crosstalk. We supposed to be in a commercial break right now. I think we are.
To Dallas Cowboys Crosstalk.
Yeah, check this out.
Live from the Cowboys Club at the Star in Frisco.
We are back. I'm Chris Arnold along with the legendary Nate Nude from DallasCowboys.com, Nick Harris, and our special guest, Pro Football Hall of Famer, 5-time Super Bowl champ, Charles Haley. By the way, at SWBC, customized solutions for individuals and businesses are just a click away. Visit SWBC.com to learn more and start your next adventure. Fellas, I'm going to tell this to Nick. See, Nick's new to DallasCowboys.com.
Fairly.
Fairly new, but he's an excellent writer, excellent reporter, excellent conversationalist on the radio when we have you on 105.3 The Fan.
Appreciate it.
Me and Nate and Charles go way back.
Way back.
In fact, Charles, you got to tell this one story. You got to fill in the blank for me. The first time the Cowboys won the Super Bowl, everybody got invited to the White House. So we go up to the White House to meet President Clinton, and we fly in to D.C. Everybody's on the plane except Charles. I guess Charles ain't going to be there. We get on the bus, and we're going to the White House, and the bus pulls up out front, and there's Charles at the gate. Charles, what happened, and why were you not on the plane or on the bus? Because you you came in with the rest of us, but you were already there.
Well, President Clinton invited me, my wife, and my kids to the White House, so we went to the White House, and I think this was the second Super Bowl.
Okay.
If you're talking about, and Jared wouldn't let the wives go on the plane.
Right.
And so my wife was gonna go.
Okay.
She suffered through to get me there, and she was gonna go. So but she showed up.
Very nice.
She was the only wife there besides
right.
Jean. So that was the big thing.
One other note about that trip, and this was pretty cool. It was Michael Irvin's birthday. You remember that, Nate?
Yeah.
It was Michael Irvin's birthday that day. And
wow.
They made a little big deal about that, too. So it was a nice little visit. The Cowboys going to the White House. Man, the Cowboys need to win a Super Bowl. This might be the year if things fall into place. Let's talk just a little bit about this year's team. And I mentioned going to the commercial break, you was out in the locker room yesterday, and everybody's in a really good mood. You visited with Micah Charles, and you also visited with Dak. I'm not going to ask you to share your conversations, but it seemed like everybody was feeling good about this game tomorrow. Well,
I think that the Redskins gave all that talent away.
Yep.
So.
Oh yeah, the trade deadline.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, Chase is gone, and the defensive ends.
That other defensive end that was good, he
sweat.
So they should be able to run the ball, throw the ball. Mm-hmm. The best defense is a great offense, and so when you look at it from that standpoint, we should have a good day because. We're not playing teams of any caliber, but yet we let them hang around.
Gotcha. You need to stomp out those pretenders because the contenders are the ones you got to worry about.
Well, the worst teams used to beat out, but we had all the coaches I ever had. We didn't ever take our foot off the gas pedal. We put it on them. Mm-hmm. Okay, and. The starter stayed in the game till the end of the game.
Right.
So we put it on them. We were about winning. It's an attitude. And you can't turn that switch on and off. Most guys don't have the ability to do that. So you have to keep your foot on the gas.
Hey, Nate, for the Cowboys on this Carolina game, you had a couple of guys that stepped it up big time. Deron Bland had another pick six. He's got 4. Tied an NFL record now. And then Tony Pollard hit that hole and drug about 4 guys in for a touchdown. What did you think about the way they played on Sunday?
I like what Tony Pollard is trying to accomplish, when there's holes there. But, I want them to get him outside. Mm-hmm. If you watch the Philadelphia versus
Kansas City.
Yeah. You saw that little screen there running with Swift? Mm-hmm. Where they'll run him out there like he's finna run a route and they'll bring him back across the middle. Man, you tell me Pollard couldn't do that, bro?
Yeah.
With the greatest of ease, get him out in open space. you got him thinking the wrong thing. He ain't no banger.
Right.
He ain't no big body banger.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care how many times you run him up in there. All you doing is just putting him at a disadvantage. Get him out in open space. I was so glad to see them throw the ball to him outside.
Yeah.
Let this kid be who he's supposed to be. Don't let some money change your thoughts of who he is.
Yeah, you saw them really play to his strengths in the first quarter. He came out 3 carries for 34 yards. It was getting him out in space. It was getting Hunter Lipke out as a lead blocker, which they're starting to integrate that a little bit more. But I think what's going to help the running game even more as the season goes on, that offensive line is starting to get really up front. They're starting to get a lot of chemistry. All 5 of those guys, they're starting to stack some games together. Gel, as you said, it's working in the pass game, back-to-back games with no sacks allowed. I think that's eventually going to trickle down to the run game. I think Tony Pollard has a big day tomorrow. I feel it coming.
I think the thing that has really helped everybody is the ability for Dak to move around in the pocket.
Right.
You know, and to run when he
has to.
Got
a little time.
And so now, even with the sacks, by Dak being aware now that, hey, I'm going to move around. I'm not just going to stay here can just drop back and throw this ball. He moving around.
You know
That's
what?
helping everybody, man.
You just called it because, ironically, the offensive line gave up 0 sacks in that last game. So, yeah, he feels comfortable in the pocket. He's moving around a little bit more. They know what he can do. He's getting some pass protection. I mentioned Deron Bland. I didn't mention Micah Parsons yet because, Charles, you talked to Micah yesterday. He was amazing. The game before, he had 0 stats, and he wasn't happy about that. Even though the Cowboys won big against the Giants, he wasn't thrilled about that. But guess what? He impacted the game, and then this last game, he had 2.5 sacks.
Have you ever won a game where you were statless?
No.
I'm going to check you on that.
You can check me, bro.
It don't happen.
Hey, the thing that he has to understand is that if he's gonna say that he the best player out there, then when teams double team him, that means it's one less receiver going out.
Right.
And he got to understand he's making the other guys stronger inside. But you have to play unselfish football, and what I always talk to him about is that what leadership is.
Yeah.
By example.
Right.
Okay. You don't tell people what to do. Show them.
And, in fact, one of the best guys at that is Tank Lawrence. You like the way Tank's been playing for the last 5-6 years, quietly getting it done.
Hey, you know what? He's a technician. He goes out, he has a plan, and you're not going to knock him off his plan. And the guy knows how to play hurt. He knows how to, he has a skill set, and he maximized that.
Maximize that skill set. Nick, can you talk about, you mentioned the injuries and playing through them. There's some guys that got kind of banged up in that game. In fact, CeeDee Lamb, who, by the way, I don't know if y'all heard this or not, because he broke that, or he created an NFL record when he had 4 consecutive games of 150 yards receiving, 10-plus catches. They put him, I think it's 3 straight games.
3 straight.
3 straight games. He put his gloves and the helmet into the Hall of Fame. So the Pro Football Hall of Fame went and picked that up. In the game against Carolina, he tweaked his ankle a little bit. Have you seen the practice report? Because I know there's some guys a little bit banged up. And, Nick, I know you got some inside information for people who want to know these things.
Yeah, CeeDee Lamb will be good to go tomorrow. That's first and
Number
foremost.
one.
We asked him yesterday, how's that ankle? You doing all right? He said, I'm straight. I'll be there on Thursday. So he'll be ready to go in full speed tomorrow. But Jaron Kearse, it's doubtful that he'll play on Thanksgiving. Yeah, having some back issues. So expect Wanye Thomas to step up. That's a really good opportunity for that second-year undrafted guy out of Georgia Tech. He showed a lot of things in the preseason, picked off Trevor Lawrence in the very first preseason game, if y'all remember. And then whenever he stepped in for Donovan Wilson, whenever Donovan Wilson was trying to get back and ramped up early in the season. So really good opportunity for the young guy. They also elevated Sheldrick Redwine from the practice squad, so he'll step in the safety group. But Rico Dowdle, he's going to be questionable, again, with an ankle injury. So the running game, it could be up and down. It could be Pollard handling most of the load if Dowdle can't go, and then you got guys like Deuce Vaughn and Hunter Lipke behind him as well.
I hope they give the ball to Lipke. That big fullback, he need to carry the ball a couple of times. He's as big as he is, put on the goal line. Anybody agree or disagree? Big as he is?
My thing is, if Rico Dowdle can't go, then it's Hunter Lipke.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's the backup. That's a Tony Tolbert. Come on
Tony
over,
Tolbert.
man.
Tony Tolbert in the house.
Hey, what are you doing, boy?
The other edge
Put
from
some
the
light
Super
on
Bowl
him, dog.
days.
That brother dog, man.
He just disappeared.
He is here in Cowboys
Charles,
Club.
Are you sure he's here? I see
disappeared.
T. I see
You
T.
can tell that's Charles Haley's guy. That's Nate Newton's guy. The very quiet Tony Tolbert, who's always in and out. You just never know he's around because he's so damn quiet.
Well,
Yeah.
did you know that the defensive line I played with a bunch of introverts? We never jumped up and down, screamed. We just did our job, and as professionals, and the love I have for the 4 or 5 guys that I played with,
Yeah.
unbreakable.
And one of the quietest guys is the big cat, Leon Lett.
Oh my God, hey.
Yeah, it's hard to get him to talk, and he's the nicest guy in the world.
Oh God, man, yeah, hey. But
Tony
you know what?
Tolbert.
If he had you know what? Leon helped me get into the Hall of Fame.
Is that right? Yeah.
Hey, the brother could play.
Yeah. You couldn't stop him.
And I just, circumstances, maybe stopped his career, but, my love for him is greater than anything because just watching him where coaches told him that he could never be an NFL player and watching him go out and dominate,
Yeah.
intimidate,
Yeah.
and destroy.
And he was so good. And like I said, he's a very quiet guy. He actually was one of the defensive line coaches for the Cowboys for years.
Yeah, and Nate used to hate when we line up. At practice, we line up run game. Hey, man, that was the best day.
Yeah,
I
when you
loved
cheat.
it.
When you cheat.
I know y'all got
This is-
stories.
Man, this used to kick. This bothered me to this day. Okay, we'll get the schedule, because we 2-a-days. We 2-a-day. We
Oh, yeah.
banging.
Back in the day.
So, coach said tomorrow. I'm just letting y'all know tomorrow, because we getting ready to go to the evening practice. Did the morning practice. We had meetings. We having meetings. Tomorrow, we're gonna start working on our game. So today we in the practice today and one-on-ones we're gonna set. Get ourselves in the rhythm. So I'm ready. Now I got to deal with Leon Lett in practice every day. So here I am focused, because I'm knowing they ain't supposed to be running no games. I'm here focused on Leon. All of a sudden, man, it's about to almost break my ribs. Leon Lett come around. There go Charles. He's laughing. I'm like, this is supposed to happen tomorrow, bro.
Right.
No, tomorrow.
Yeah. Y'all playing it like it's a game.
But we doing it today. I want to do it today.
Hey, we had fun.
Y'all did.
Speaking of tomorrow is Thanksgiving Day. I want to get some of y'all's Thanksgiving Day memories. And plus, what do y'all like to eat on Thanksgiving? That's coming up next on Cowboys Crosstalk. Next. We're back. We're back at Cowboys Crosstalk here at Cowboys Club and the Frisco Star. And by the way, if you don't know, Jack Black wants to use what the pros use. Jack Black is the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys. Visit getjackblack.com today. I'm Chris Arnold, along with the legend Nate Newton, and from DallasCowboys.com, Nick Harris, and our special guest, 5-time Super Bowl champion, Pro Football Hall of Famer, Ring of Honor member, Charles Haley. Number 94 in your books. How you doing, Charles?
Hey, man.
You having fun so far?
Oh, I'm loving it. I'm loving it.
Now, Tony Tober just came through here, but then Tony Hill just came. All the former Cowboys are showing up this evening, the night before the game.
Hey, it was the night before Christmas. Went
all through the house. Hey, Thanksgiving, I teased this going in. We're gonna, and by the way, in the very next.
Teased? What does that mean?
That means I was telling people what to watch out for. I teased.
I was going to say, dog, hey, you a man. You can't tease me, bro.
What had happened was,
I
coming up in the very last segment, we're going to get into this game against Washington. But Thanksgiving, you guys played on Thanksgiving lots and lots of times.
And your question was, what did we eat on Thanksgiving?
Yeah, that's where I was going to go.
Nate ate everything. You remember, Nate used to be that big, dog. Hey, he used to even chew the bones, dog.
Down to the bone.
Hey.
I understand. You know what? I'm gonna tell you. I gotta tell this. Nate, one Thanksgiving after the game, I took Nate with me down to my friend Nanette Lee's house. Her mom and daddy had a big Thanksgiving celebration. After the game, they said, "I can go with you for a little while." Man, we was playing spades. We were playing dominoes.
That's Nate.
Yep. It was a good.
And where's she at?
She getting ready to do another radio show, and of course she still do her comedy stuff at the Improv and the whole nine. She's probably listening right now. What up, Nanette Lee?
Yeah.
But Charles, you mentioned what you like. What do you like to eat on Thanksgiving? Whether you were playing football or not, what's some of your favorites? Is it turkey and dressing, or do you have a ham?
To be honest, I don't do holidays.
Is that right?
Yeah, it's depressing for me.
Man.
So I don't do holidays.
I understand. So do you get together with anybody at all? The family?
No.
Just kind of chill.
Yeah.
Well, when you was playing with the Cowboys, y'all had some moments and some memories. Now, we mentioned Leon Lett in that one game when it was icy.
You talking about Miami?
Yeah, the Miami game, and a lot of people remember that. Y'all went on to win the Super Bowl.
Hey, the only thing I remember is that somebody was saying that Jim was going to cut Leon for that.
For those who don't know, Miami was trying to kick a field goal. The field goal got blocked.
Right.
And all you had to do was just stay away from the football and the game's over. But instead, Leon thought, okay, let me recover this fumble. And he touched the football, and it was icy, and the ball slid away. So Miami recovered the ball and kicked the field goal to win the game anyway. And everybody's just mad.
I wasn't mad. Hey, I was.
Those things happen.
The rules wasn't explained good enough, so that everybody knew. Now, me, I ain't running down the field for that anyway, bro. Hey, I don't even think I was on the field at that time. If I was, my job is to push a little bit and jump.
Right.
And then I'm good after that.
There was a special game for Jason Garrett. Troy was hurt. Jason Garrett came in there. Barry Switzer was the head coach, and he kept throwing the ball, and Michael Irvin and Emmett was running wild. Nate, can you remember that game at all?
Yeah. We threw it up in there to Alvin Hopper.
Yeah.
Just threw it up. Yeah.
I got a question.
When
Jimmy was coaching, he brought in every quarterback in the business. He never let Jason Garrett go on the field. Did he ever let him go on the field?
He did.
No, he did not.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Hey, he brought in Pete. He brought in what's that guy got his leg way back when he from Miami?
Brony Kozar.
Yeah. He tried.
Well, he just wanted to get somebody who had a better resume closer to Troy in case Troy got hurt. And you know what? Jason was solid, but he said if I can get somebody a little bit better.
What did he do when he left?
Who, Jason?
Yeah.
Oh, I think he wound up coaching.
No. I'm saying, didn't he go play in Arizona?
I think he played for the New York Giants for a minute. He played for the New York Giants, and then he was a quarterback's coach for the Miami Dolphins.
No, we're not talking. We're talking about
playing-wise. He went to the Giants, right?
Yeah, he played for the Giants. Jason Garrett played for. Yeah, he was a backup quarterback for the Giants.
I thought he went to Arizona. He started for a minute.
Nah.
It wasn't?
Not Jason Garrett.
not Jason.
Not Jason Garrett.
Oh, okay.
But hey, back to Thanksgiving. Did y'all, it was a short week. Was it more difficult for that game, or was it made it easier because you were at home? Because there were other teams that were saying, man, the Cowboys in Detroit, they got a competitive advantage playing on Thanksgiving.
No, you know what? Thanksgiving was just like every other week. I'm going to lay on the training table. I ain't going out to practice anyway. So I don't care. Bruh, I'm good.
You good to the game time.
I'm good.
What you know?
Hey, Nate was one of them dummies that had to go out there and just hit somebody. He just felt like, I just need to do it. You know, he's so used to going out there and banging. I ain't hitting nobody. They want me to play on Sunday. They want me to play on Sunday. They better let me sleep Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday.
I hear you. So, Nate, was that schedule kind of tough for you? Some of the guys who had to practice on a short week?
Yeah, but basically he didn't do much to us. That's either Coach Johnson or Coach Landry. You know, we just kind of walked through and stuff like that. But we were in such great shape from all of this hitting that we did during training camp our bodies were so beat up and hurt, except this guy over here who slept all the time.
Oh, yeah.
But it's amazing now how he would do that right there, right? But he would study his film.
Always.
And we would do that evening workout. Mm-hmm. But during the day he rested. So that's probably why he worked out so well in the latter part of the evening when we came back for the evening workout.
Right.
So, yeah, he was pretty consistent.
Right.
Well,
so,
you know what? What they did was, I wasn't very smart, but they put me in, at the 49, they would put me in this room with vibrating chair, headphones and stuff, because I was having migraine headaches and I like to just punch people in the face. So they wanted me to calm down. And I accidentally brought my contract in there and I read it. It doesn't say anything about a practice. Bruh. They should.
You looked at the fine print.
You know what they say? A mind is a terrible thing to waste. Right. I didn't waste mine. Let me tell you that.
Well, the good part about those Thanksgiving games was y'all actually, unlike nowadays where they have another Thursday night game, y'all actually would have like 10 days before the next game. They kind of helped because Coach Landry and Coach Johnson always say the December games were important. Y'all wanted to go into the playoffs on a roll, right?
Right. You always want to be peaking at that time and playing your best football. And those 10 days gave us an advantage for us just recovering. But
how was you recovering? Y'all was out there practicing, bruh.
We were recovering.
Y'all was out there hitting every damn day.
They were able to recover because
he's
you weren't.
lying. He's lying, dog. They put shoulder pads on, and that thing went pop. Hey, bruh, I watched it from the training room.
People don't understand. When you used to practicing every day, and somebody give you a half a day off, a day, and then give you, then you practice 2 days, and you get another half. That you don't know what that does to your body. And I tell people, now it's hard for me to fathom walk through helmets and shoulder pads, then practice full gear, then walk through. Man, I could have been still playing if I was practicing on that mode.
Right, I got you.
We practice. I mean, when we open up training camp, we already did our sprint test before we leave. We open up training camp with 7-on-7, and conveniently he would be in there.
Hey, dog, I pull a hamstring, bro. Hey, I was born at night, but not last night.
Not last night. I want to ask you about them rings just for a minute.
Them rocks?
Them rocks. Them Infinity Stones, them Super Bowl Infinity Stones. You got 5 of them.
Oh, man.
You were the first one. Then Tom Brady caught you.
Hold up.
Then he got 2
more. Wait a minute. Did Tom get suspended?
Not Tom Brady.
He didn't get suspended?
Now, they did have a Spygate scandal.
Wait a minute. Did he get suspended?
The Deflategate scandal.
Oh, you need to Google that for him. He got suspended.
Oh, okay.
For cheating, right? I didn't cheat.
That we know of.
So you know what? He need to get that asterisk by his name.
Oh, is that? Okay, breaking news.
Although,
because he's your friend.
Although, let me tell you.
Hey.
He showed me that he could play though. But hey,
for those who don't know, Charles is saying there's a big old smile on his face.
Yeah, man. You know what?
He's just playing.
If you can't laugh at it,
exactly.
But you know what? Records are made to be broken. And it stood for a while, but it's just like anything else. It's gonna get broken.
Yeah.
And I think that like they lucky that they play. Every generation plays a little different.
Right.
The rule changes because John Elway, all those guys. I could take a step and a half and plant you.
Woo!
Hey, dog. I mean plant you.
Yeah. Nowadays you got to protect the quarterback.
Hey,
But I do have a question for you though, because I think you said records are made to be broken. One of the good things about him breaking that record was they brought your name up again for people who might not have known that you were the one with
Lord
5
have
rings.
mercy. Hey, I could care less about Charles Haley's name. You understand?
Right.
Hey, bruh. Hey, those I
Records
play
are made
with.
to be broken.
Hey, those that I play with knows. Like going to the Hall of Fame, man. I thought my body of work would get me into the Hall of Fame. Then I realized it's about the things that I might have done that kept me out of the Hall of Fame. So, and you know what?
You was able to reconcile that.
You know what? I could go into meetings. Them dumbasses get in there talking about some brotherhood. Hey, I said brotherhood. I said Jackie Slayton hit me so hard I saw Jesus Christ in all 3 forms, and you think he's my brother? I said, hell no.
Now when it comes to the game.
Hey, I had to stand up, put my right hand up, because I had to point him out. No, you ain't my brother.
Football is a very, 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 very tough game to play.
Yeah.
And by the way, there is a big game tomorrow, and because of a commercial break coming up on the other side, we're going to talk about Washington. We're going to get y'all's predictions on the game next on Cowboys Crosstalk.
Crosstalk.
Yeah, check this out.
Live from the Cowboys Club at the Star in Frisco.
And at SWBC, customized solutions for individuals and businesses are just a click away. Visit swbc.com to learn more and start your next adventure. I'm Chris Arnold, along with the legend, Nate Newton, from DallasCowboys.com, Mr. Nick Harris, and, of course, our special guest, 5-time Super Bowl champ, Ring of Honor inductee, and Pro Football Hall of Fame member, Mr. Charles Haley. Chuck, we're so glad you are here.
I'm glad to be here.
Oh.
I get to see Big Papa on for Thanksgiving.
He love it when you call him Big Papa.
Hey,
So
I
we used to do
do.
that show.
Yeah,
Man, we do that show, boy.
for real. Well, in this last segment, I said we're going to talk about Washington. You got the big game tomorrow afternoon, 3:30 at AT&T Stadium. Nick, we need some intel. We need some scouting report on the Washington Commanders. I do know this, for those who forgot, that team won their first 2 games of the season, and then after that, they went 2-7.
Yeah, we can start on the offensive side of the ball. I think there's going to be some opportunities both in the pass game and the run game. We talked about the run game in the last segment a little bit, but in the pass game specifically, they're going to be down their rookie first-round corner, Emmanuel Forbes. So guys like C.D. Lamb, Brandon Cooks, those are opportunities for those guys to be able to make some things happen. They run a lot of man coverage, and this team has a ton of man beaters. So C.D. Lamb, Brandon Cooks, again, those are going to be guys that are going to have an opportunity to get going.
Okay, you mentioned the defense. This was so wild. Y'all play with this guy named Jack Del Rio, who is their defensive coordinator, and they are not getting anything done defensively. They're like last in the league in certain categories, including giving up points.
Jack could get fired, so it's all good.
Well, you know what? Anything is possible because
I
if
didn't
you
like
don't
him
win,
anyway.
if you don't win, it ain't gonna happen. Offensively, they passed the ball a lot. The offensive coordinator, Eric Bieniemy, he was the quarterbacks coach and offensive coordinator for Kansas City Chiefs with Patrick Mahomes, and he likes to throw the ball.
Yeah, Sam Howell, he's going to throw the ball a lot, and he's going to get sacked a lot. 51 times so far this season that he's been sacked. He's on pace to break the NFL record for a single season that David Carr set back in 2002. But, yeah, there's going to be opportunities for this pass rush, but I think that this running game might be able to get going for Washington. And if so, it could shorten the game. That's the one concern that I have going into tomorrow. They have some physical runners. Brian Robinson leads that group. Antonio Gibson's going to be questionable tomorrow, but if he can go as well, and that's kind of a change of pace guy for them, I think their opportunities are in the run game. But in the pass game, I think Dallas is going to be able to take advantage both up front and in the secondary.
Hey, Chris.
Yes.
Their best asset is the quarterback. He's like that guy in Buffalo.
Right,
He
yeah.
can bring it to
Josh
you.
Allen, yeah.
He gonna try to run over you, and he's running the ball more, escaping more.
He's
'cause
mobile.
if it ain't open, hey, he putting that ball down. He running.
Nate, what do you think about Washington? I know the Cowboys should win this game, but what do you think about the Washington coming? Because they just
We ain't talked about them enough. To me, they're a non-issue. If you block the 2 Bama boys, game over.
yeah.
Game over. Now, if they run
The
Robinson,
tackles.
you know, like you say, it could be ice tub game. If they run that kid, well, he nice. Number 8,
Yep.
he is nice. They run him, it's gonna be. But they don't have enough. They shouldn't have enough because their strength is our strength, and I think we can pass rush better than they can pass block. They love to throw, but now the chink in the arm is if they start running that ball with that number 8 Robinson, that dude is a hardcore man. He hard, man.
And you just mentioned this, Nick. Probably no J-Ron Curse, but Donovan Lewis will be back there. We looking just in case they need to, in case they start running the ball. Who are the Cowboys defenders? We got because Leighton Vander Esch, he's out. Micah Parsons probably gonna be mobile and have him lined up all over the place. What are the Cowboys defense going to do if they start running the ball too much?
Yeah, it's up to those big guys in the interior up front. You got Jonathan Hankins. I know me and Nate have talked a lot about him throughout the year. Mozzie Smith. And then in that second level, Marquise Bell's done a good job in the run game since he's had to step in for Leighton Vander Esch. So just filling the holes and having those instincts, that's what he does best. And it's going to be up to those guys to be able to stop the run.
And Nate, if they start throwing the ball too much, DeRon Bland,
Nah, it's all about them guys up front.
Stephon,
I'm gonna tell you, it's all about them guys up front, and these guys are the recipient of it. I just think in another year, if everything come together, then it'll work together.
right?
You know, like when the Seahawks was rolling,
Yeah.
You know, sometimes it be a coverage. The coverage be so good to them guys get sacks up front and vice versa. But right about now, it's just all about what our front going to do. If our guys stop number 8 early, game should be over. Yeah. But if they let number 8 Robinson run, it's going to be hard to go.
I'm with you.
You know what? The best defense is a great offense.
Yes.
Nate, when y'all were holding the ball 8 minutes.
Yeah.
8
snaps.
Minutes, if we can throw and run the ball, eat up the clock, you don't have to worry about that. You take the running game out of it because they're going to get behind and they have to throw the ball.
Yeah.
So we need to have a plan, an action plan where we're going to actually go out and run the ball and dump off. They trying to run the 49er West Coast offense. And the 87 is a great tight end for him.
Yeah, Jake Ferguson.
Okay, you got Lamb. Who's your John Taylor?
That would probably be Michael Gallup, or maybe even Brandon Cooks. But the bottom line is the Dallas Cowboys will probably have to score first and score often. The good part is Washington gives up the most points in the league. They've given up more points than anybody. So literally in the first half, the Cowboys need to come out and handle up on their business. In fact, the Cowboys have won 12 straight home games. What do you think about that home field advantage at AT&T, Charles? You think it's real this year in the last year? Because they haven't lost in a while.
Hey, all I know is that at the stadium when we play, home field advantage meant something. You could hear the crowd.
Yeah.
There, you can't hear it. You can't hear. But what I always tell the guys is that Jerry Jones on the team. He promotes the team, but they are the team. They are the star.
Right.
And that they got to understand that they got to show up every week.
Yes.
They got to show up.
Yeah.
I said because I get tired of people asking me why they ain't doing this, and the fans get tired of them losing. So they need to understand the dynamics of how things work. Hey,
and realize they earned the star on that helmet. I got you.
Yeah, you got 1 minute.
Yes, I do have 1 minute. That means time for some predictions.
Yep.
Nick, what's the final score tomorrow afternoon?
I think Washington gets some points on the board, but I think Dallas, I think they win commandingly, 45-24.
45-24. Charles, what's your prediction?
The Cowboys win. That's my prediction.
That's good.
That's right. No matter how many points. Nate, what about you?
1 point. All we doing is trying to get to Philly.
Trying to get to Philly. And by the way,
through the Seahawks.
For those who don't know, the Cowboys' next game a week from Thursday will be at Seattle. They host Seattle. Then a week from Sunday, they will host the Philadelphia Eagles, who I could not believe Kansas City squandered that lead and gave that game to the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm still not over that. My prediction, Cowboys win. I'm going to say 42-6. And with that, it's been a pleasure. Charles, Nate, and Nick, this is Cowboys Crosstalk.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys?